But since His Excellency John Dramani Mahama assumed office, just as he was doing between 2012 and 2016, this time it's been worse. I recall in 2012, the lives of Kennedy Japan, Fadi Dabusi, Omari Wadie, and many more, Captain Koda, Atobra, many of the people were needlessly and senselessly apprehended without any reason. So when this man this time said that, oh, it's recent, we thought after 8 years, reason had prevailed, but he has intensified his effort. But I'm afraid, if you look at MPP, we are against anything that will go against the nation's progress. So, for that matter, if an individual commits an offense, we will not support that person. But in this case, Wontumi, they've not even come out with why he's been arrested. Everything that you've heard outside is speculative. They are saying that, oh, he contracted the loan from the Exim Bank and this. And I believe it's so. Legally, it's something civil. It doesn't amount to criminality. So you cannot come out with that kind of arrest. But since His Excellency John Dramani Mahama assumed office, just as he was doing between 2012 and 2016, this time it's been worse. I recall in 2012, the lives of Kennedy Japan, Fadi Dabusi, Omari Wadie, and many more, Captain Koda, Atobra, many of the people were needlessly and senselessly apprehended without any reason. So when this man this time said that, oh, it's recent, we thought after 8 years, reason had prevailed, but he has intensified his effort. But I'm afraid there's no one on this earth who has resorted to violence or aggression and has succeeded. At the end of it all, what Ghanaians are going to remember is the good work you'll be doing. It's not about the aggression. I condemn the style of arrest of Wontumi, and it's not the only person. You know the lives of Kenufuriata, the lives of the former Bank of Ghana, and many more of such teachers. Are we in a kangaroo state? You recall that when the Attorney General appeared before the vetting committee, he mentioned that they were going to come out with a court under Rawlings's time, similar to Rawlings's time. And I think behind the scene, after receiving condemnation, he was not able to pronounce it again. Nevertheless, they are implementing the senseless, the brutish, and the violent way of intimidating people. But how long are you going to succeed? If you decide as a government, your core mandate, the social contract, is to make sure that you are able to help the people to see improvement. You did promise 24-hour economy. You're not seeing anything yet. You did promise so many things. The cocoa farmers, you promised them, you have failed. Some of your ministers, they traded on integrity, not knowing that it was a borrowed one. Specifically, Okuji Trabrapa. went to Adom FM and said that, oh, when NDC comes and that, the private, public officials go out there in a rented aeroplane, he was going to resign. Today he's still at post. So the very credibility on which Ghanaians some bought into it, today is on the wing. I'll plead with them. They have a task to do. If not anything at all, Akufo-Addo has left a mark, and they should be guided by the precedents. The work Akufo-Addo did in 8 years, John Mahama doesn't know. It will take him years. So that one is there. It's a benchmark. It's a hallmark for Ghanaians to judge. And you are resorting to this kind of brutish kind of administration. I'm afraid. It's time he went back to his promises when he was campaigning that he was coming to be the father for all. But is that a promise we see today? It's rather unfortunate. Ghana has a history. Rollins started the same way. Today, where is he? In those days, AFRC, PNDC, about 300, 400 people died. It may even, it's not going to be surprised at all that even some of you here interview me are not privy to that. But if you read Dead and Pain by Rollins Ghana, Dead and Pain, Rollins Ghana, by Michael J. He was a journalist like you are. You get to know the list. If you read Zidane's book, Who Killed These Judges, the record is there. If you read Adebuga's book, Rollins, Murder and Lies, you get the facts out there. So we have a history to guide us. All the wicked leaders in the world, how did they end? Idi Amin and those things. But I can tell you without massive words that under John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, we are assuming the level that is even worse. But can you use intimidation? No. This kind of brutishness, we are above that. We are above that. So please, they should be measured. And they should be guided by the frailty and the brevity of human life. If they are to be guided by that, sage and wit will prevail. I want to end here. If there is any question to ask.
Thank you.
Is it okay?
Yes. Yes, okay. We'll come back.
Say Andra, as an American, nobody know say and nobody know Baba and Sally free. So who cassette on the hand man now and immediately.
Sana yet.
Sana, I'll gather some intelligence and let you know. Say sad there, and I think it's not fair because as it stands now, we are not exactly charges. Yeah, they are born because first they say, Exim Bank actual the amount and do as that the free lawyer no catch say Exim Bank as a actual the amount so much the charges now whatever. So me know we be a engineer say you need exactly charges the amount because emra but the way at the manner 53 days. Yet faha, they are faha, they are Kohamo. Even that day now, our body but they didn't come down. I said, I'm free and 4:30 here, around 7-8 here by Surety, any bail condition. A penny for bar, I've been penny for by a grana, a penny be anyone. So you buy a ready miss. Say any positive results. And now Ghana, and they make a penny for some ready maybe a maker about your future. And then you might move your winning now. If Yanina Yan Casa Antia, they were big platforms. Now Yan Casa Antia, and lawful arrest, Rambo style arrest. Vigilante arrest, Ochina, a bedroom because Ochina, all your followers now class and power. They will come after you and pick you because of more power. If they pick you, nobody can speak for you. So it is now. So I'm calling on the religious body, international community, peace council, the churches, and chief man said, almost sorry no Mukasa, Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo has live a peaceful country. That me and you are enjoying. A person Ghana better because say Kosia, bedu be ones other people would advise themselves and young person Ghana super call and take penny for Casa na yɛnya peace ɛwɔ
Mr. Last one, I think say lawyers yeah money or more kasa. Money or more ding or more.
As at the during that was what the lawyer told us. Said almost say name about the conditions but this morning they go and verify around 9 o'clock. And to make the call NIB first, they call a new CEO and the bar. And to me, bar and I'm a lawyer. And I'm to find out say a debate next because as it stands now, but when say within the short time, I'll place my calls and know maybe a year.
Into party then I'm more years here.
And I make a choice at the end of the day, and then you say you're who do book and they say Antia, the leadership must now because look, they may catch the party leadership for how long? And they may Adam slaves in opposition. Let's go to the party leadership. For how long? And they may Adam slaves. What are we doing to ginger the base? What are we doing to bring the spirit of the party back? Say, we need to map up a strategy to go down to the people and beg them so that in cases the people have some confidence because we're a party are there. Not almost kasa atia the air cost because on my way on say no. So we'll relax. So I'm calling on the leadership of the party say we must stop this and stop it once and for all. So party appointee I am money me I will not support it. So what could this car what could they time your government unkwa no di. Say see na ye wo ho media me see let's use the law. The law no yeah the law ni ejuma it helps everybody say ne what the law ejuma na umma that di say ampa CEO minister we time our government we discuss here I'm running in here because they want former finance minister yakoye sa other appointees yakoye sa assistants that yemfo bia enkojina court say we discuss just trying to put fear and panic in the country which all of us must speak against it once and for all so that we enjoy the peace that we enjoy. Thank you very much.
The slogan of your former boss, His Excellency Professor J.E.M.S., that we are going to be the father for all. Is that what we are witnessing? And this is not something peculiar. It's typical of John Dramani Mahamat's administration. 2012-2016 was the president. A lot of people were arrested in that Rambo style, in that aggressive manner.
But please, if they say Rambo style, what's that Rambo style? What does it mean?
Ghana, we are not in a jungle state. Okay. We are being guided by law. And we are being guided by evidence, a principle, a rule of law. Wontumi is not somebody who will be running. So when we invited him, he admitted that we invited him. He wrote a letter to them that I wish to have come. But unfortunately, I'm incapacitated. With the police have also come out, confirmed that. When he went to the police, the first time CID invited him. Was there any kind of discussion pertaining to that? Everybody knew that he had been invited, so the police were doing their right thing. But why this guy? This Rambo style, and it's not peculiar. I've said it to you that between 2012 and 2016, that was the style of John Dramani Mahama. A lot of our people were incarcerated, including Omari Wadie, the former third vice chairman of MPP, including Kennedy Japan, to the extent that when the former President John Ejikun Kufuor was admonishing His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that they shouldn't use leg to kill a fly, he was so cheeky, and the response as a statesman, I didn't even expect, and the state condemned that. And today you are still doing that. Oforiatta has been a victim. The former Bank of Ghana has been a victim. Amewu has been a victim. Several of them. Why? Under democratic state, what has happened? Meanwhile, you have a mandate to deliver. You did promise the cocoa farmers, so they are expecting the increase. You get a lot of promises, especially to the youth. 24-hour economy. You've not seen anything out of that. To the extent that even the very people who had been employed by His Excellency Kufuado, you came, and many of them have been sacked.
But actually,
Is that the kind of manifesto promise that he gave?
but do you have any evidence to that say John Dramani Mahama is the one behind his arrest?
Well, the bar starts with him. You are the head of state. And if anything at all, the style, the way they are doing it, you should have come out. When Jakpa was doing Jakpa also, I don't know the name, whether I'm right. Richard Jakpa. Yes, was illogically and irresponsibly doing that in the name of the state. Did you hear that the head of state, the president, came out to condemn that? No. When Attorney General, his appointee, came out that he instructed people to besiege people's house, did the president issue any instruction? And many more of such is a state. And if you're a leader in a house and you keep quiet, you see nothing wrong, you see nothing wrong, especially when there are allegations against the opposition, you strictly act on that. But things pertaining to your own people, you resort to the nolli prosequi and you free them. Is that the state Kufuado bequeathed to you? The posterity will judge.
So, sir, is it politicizing the arrest? Do you see it as politicizing?
No.
Or the institutions?
From the answer, I told you that from where I'm coming from as an MP member and from my own principle, if you are to politicize everything, I'm afraid there will be no better legacy to guide us, especially the posterity. I've already stated that. But that doesn't mean that we should hold our breath when something wrong is going on. If this one were to be just one, it will have been an isolated case. But I've pointed out several of them. But for time, I'll have mentioned a lot of such crude, irresponsible, and senseless arrest and intimidation. So we cannot say that this one is politicized. So must we keep quiet? Whilst it is our duty as citizens of this country, when the president is moving away, taking away from his own promise, taking away from the very convention that has been guiding us, must we keep quiet?
But others are saying the institutions are doing their work. So you should allow the institutions to work.
The institutions are doing their work. So the institutions, what are the institutions and what is their core mandate? And at least they also have their norm. And we are all privy to it. I've cited one of the institutions to you, the CID. They officially invited him. And that's formal. If you attack them, it means you are politicizing. But the EOCO style, must we endorse that? So sometimes you should be very discreet. You should be very discreet in our questioning or in our interview. Anyway, you are a journalist, so you are playing devil's advocate. But it behoves on me to also point out the irregularities and things that will not. Today it is soon to me. So if you don't speak against it, who knows? In Nkrumah's time, when he was passing the Prevention Detention Act, there were few of the CPP people in his own government who said that you are sitting here, you are endorsing what Nkrumah has brought. After the opposition are dealt with, it will come to your turn. And lo and behold, it happened.
Thank you.
So you must all put your hands on deck to condemn anything that is irresponsible and that will not help the nation. That will not inure to the progress and development of the country.
Okay, so what's your final word to the public that are watching you concerned about his arrest? Because I've learned that he'll be granted bail. Some people to say he will not be granted bail, he will not be able to be granted bail. But what's your take on your last conclusion?
My last statement on this is that Ghana, we are fortunate that the successive government since 1992, peace is one of our brands. Peace is one of the things that people easily identify us with. So we must all put our hands on deck. It's a social contract. And then ask the government to act as such. If we deviate or anything that is contrary to the social contract to protect the rights of the individual in the country. I'm afraid we cannot guarantee the consequences and we cannot guarantee the safety of even the president himself. This is a timely and timeless admonition. I want to end.
So, Papa, please, one last question.
No, can't say, now we go, you know, watch the country and not answer.
The American MPP for be run a make or 12 and only a police issue will be so my way. And now to buy 1 year, I'm a media to buy media to
now, so what when you're here, and also so at the upper part of this one, I said,
and a mom and this for to win election because media me told about me to my solution. Yes,
if you say, and then I'll catch a party for them.
And I make a chance say, my Yahweh, no Munyai, and then I'm and this is your mamma, yes, sir.
It is all my enjoy, I don't know.
The same thing, Tempia, son, or because we're winning, no, my idea.
It is all because to MPP for 3 minutes, to MPP for 3 minutes.
The American says, they say, I see a car who go. Not the idea about baby, I did 2 minutes flew on some. The idea didn't buy being an idea to the near 2 hours, the come home.
Now, shall John Mahama Mambo now, shall Indiana.
I mentioned them Mususa, maybe to honest cafe, mentioned them Mususa.
Safin Waba.
Oh, Wabedi Bida. And now, Wabedi Bida, Wabedi Bida on a mess. If you go for a car for 43, health insurance, but almost one band 1 time premium, I am 1 night.
Send the Pabiano, so young from Sona Sababi, who's your mistakes. Who did say Mahama is any mistakes?
Yeah, sure. Because you'll be a council by resetting down there. How you forget BBS, now resetting. We are winning Mamma Papa.
Obiba Musa said, John Mahama buyer. Not dollar, not dollar, no swatting. What is a dollar, no swatting?
And you're on the tissue.
The one it is.
Africa being also when you should dollar be a African country. No, it is.
It's who did this and Mahama.
You are quite of fast what is, so I'm not wanting to.
But some shows are Ghana for us, and the money.
Media Manini. Because next cafe now, Tamu, my no, here tono 6 cities. They say, and I'm 8 cities.
Yes, $2.
Messi, I'm a tongue to see a next campaign media. Kanshi, Cantamanto, Meko, Ryan's back, UTC in Minam home. I see a tear, so by media and taste.
Yantes one, the account.
Yantes,
being count.
Yantes, you have been
now, on your show, sir, or no one I want and I'm better better swallow.
Many company, that's in a company, so I'm the Basi and Tisua, and I'm a madam, so better so I'm a smart one.
What is your ambassador?
Diano, Yati, and tell her first. I don't know who the fan.
Me Solia, I'm matching by 2 to 3 Yantes.
Umfuka.
That's it. I give me nice. That's it. I give me nice. They say nice. They go across me. Man, tense your mommy was ancestor.
Then they want to win.
This year, I'm a baby. I'm a dama. Who's I'm a bread? I am a 3 for my bread. Yeah, me pentem. To me see, I'm a Dominica.
But what is the for see at the lawyer first?
A big candy about media me shed and
found, sir.
Yeah.